it's Alana and welcome back to my channel. This is my first ever readathon vlog. I am participating in the Tome Topple Readathon, which is hosted by a number of hosts, the main creator being Thoughts on Tomes. So basically at the start of this month I put up a video that had my TBR on it, and in that I explained this readathon a little bit. The main thing is to try and read a book over 500 pages, and in that video I said how much of a mood reader I am and how that TBR may not end up be happening. And here we are with a completely different TBR. So I thought I'd kick off day one of the Tome Topple Readathon by showing you how much that TBR has changed. Also, just quickly, this was me at midnight last night. I know a lot of people stay up to start their readathons from midnight. I was already up because I'd gotten home from work and I was reading my current read, which is from Twinkle with Love. And I'm gonna have to put this down because this is not 500 pages and I did not start it on the readathon. I've been reading this for a few days. So I'm putting this one down to pick up my Tome Topple picks, which are The Crow Girl by Eric Axel Sund. I need to get this off my shelves. Like I said in that TBR video, I borrowed this from a friend and that was in March. So I need to read this. It's just I'm terrified of it and I don't usually read this genre, but that will fit one of the challenges for this readathon. So I'm still going to be reading this, but I was at work on Wednesday and I noticed some new releases, and when I flicked to see their page count, I worked out that as well as really wanting to read them, they would fit this readathon. So I bought Supernova by Marissa Meyer. This is the last book in the Renegades trilogy, and I am super pumped. This one is 552 pages, so a perfect length for this readathon. And then the other one that I saw got released was The Toll by Neil Shusterman. This is also the finale in the Arc of the Scythe trilogy. And once again, super hyped to read this. This one is, where is it? Oh, this is nearly 630 pages long. So a little bit longer, but I feel like I will just be able to power through both of these because I've been super hyped for their releases and I'm really happy about that. So what I'm planning on doing is picking one of these to start today, reading this one in the middle, and then if I have time, read the other one of these. So yeah, I think that's all the updates I have so far on day one. My tea's gone a little bit cold. Okay, but yeah, this is my updated TBR for this readathon, and I'm really excited for these. I'm not sure which one I'm going to start today. Maybe Supernova. I'll let you know how I go, and I'll see you in the next check-in. Good morning. It is day 2 of the Tome Topple Readathon. My tea is already gone. I'm very sad about that. So in terms of reading, yesterday I read a total of 46 pages, which is quite low for me, but I was at work for most of the day. I'm now up to page 55. I have a few things that I should do today, but I do want to get a chunk of this smashed out as well. So right now my little page count, real professional piece of stationery here that tells me how many pages I'll be reading each day, looks quite low and sad, but it can only go up from here. Also, Evie update, because why else are you here? She's currently it's a really hard life being Evie sometimes. So, plan of attack today. Clean some of my house, get some reading done, maybe find an audiobook, and that's about it. I do have to go to work later on, but that is a fair while away. Oh, and edit videos. So yeah, I'm gonna go do that, and hopefully I can update you later on with an astonishing amount of pages that have been read. So I have a few updates for you. Number one being that Supernova is still going incredibly well. Yesterday after my break at work, I finished up on page 280, and then when I got home from work in the early hours of the morning, I proceeded to read nearly 100 pages, which means I went to bed very late or very early, depending on the way that you're looking at it. And then today I've been doing some more reading, and I'm up to page 446. So day 3 of Tome Topple, and I'm smashing out this book. It really helps that Marissa Meyer's writing style is so easy to consume, and that the storyline isn't too complex. Like, it's structured really well, so you hit certain peaks at certain time and your brain doesn't really have to do a lot of critical thinking because the book, does it for you. So yeah, update number 1 is that Supernova is going really well. I have this much of the book to go, so we're looking pretty good. The second update is that I really should be getting back to writing my review for The Deathless Girls by Kira Millwood Hargrave, but there's something about Mondays which just zap all purpose from me. Hopefully I get back to writing the review today because I really need to get that sent off. I had mixed thoughts and feelings on this book. I really liked it, but on one hand I also felt like the blurb and cover and premise of this was a giant hook that didn't quite get fulfilled. It was still a really good book, but not what I was expecting. Oh, hang on. So those are all my book-related things that I'm updating you on, and the last update I have for you today is a very scary reality that New South Wales is currently facing at the moment. There are multiple horrific fires burning on the north end of the coast at the moment, and basically tomorrow is classified as a catastrophic event, and there are lots of watch and act alerts going around, lots of school closures. So far though, nothing is burning near us at the moment. We are in a safe zone, and I know that's not really book related, but it's a reality of where we live and all of that. So just basically fingers crossed for tomorrow and the coming days, and my thoughts and my heart go out to every single person that has been affected so far. As for the rest of today, aside from all of that, I am planning on potentially reading some more of Renegades. I say maybe, I'm definitely going to be reading more later on. And hopefully finishing off this book review for The Deathless Girls. Mondays. Okay, here we go. It is day 4 of Tome Topple Readathon, and I did not vlog yesterday. Well, not really. You might have seen a few little snippets here or there, and also apologies for the camera angle right now, but I am on my way to work, and you are coming with me, and you're on my hands-free, so. But I had some updates for you. The reason why I didn't really vlog yesterday was because it was a bit of an anxious day. There was the whole catastrophe fire warning day, and it just got to me a little bit. But I did also do some reading. I ended up finishing Supernova in the early hours of the morning, and then I picked up The Crow Girl during the day and proceeded to freak myself out because I don't usually read the whole psycho thriller horror genre, and oh my god, I messaged my friend and she basically said good luck and welcome to hell. I got about 100 pages into that, which was pretty good, and then I listened to more of an audiobook that I've been listening to on and off the past week to try and lighten up my mood a little bit, because on top of the fire warning I then decided to pick up the freakiest book I could, so not a great mixture of things. And then when it was time to go to bed, I wanted to read a little bit, but I didn't want to read The Crow Girl because I didn't want to have any nightmares. which, spoiler, had nightmares anyway. So I picked up From Twinkle with Love again just for the nighttime and for a little bit of today when I'm on my break, because I feel like my brain needs a little bit of a break. I know I only read 100 pages of The Crow Girl, and that book is like over 700 pages long. I'm glad that I got that much through it yesterday, but this is going to be my most challenging book for Tome Topple. And yeah, that's my update for now. See you soon. And I'm back. I just got home from touch footy. We won our first game of the season, so feeling pretty good. Let me just, that's a bit better. So today I went to work at the bookstore and I proceeded to read From Twinkle with Love because I did not want to take this monster with me in my bag, and also this is a lot less threatening. So I think I'm going to keep on reading these alongside each other, even though From Twinkle with Love doesn't count for the readathon, but I think I need the lightness of this to balance the darkness of this. Also, I thought I would really quickly give you my thoughts on Supernova, which was, I loved it, it was great. There was a few little back and forth things at the start that I was like, oh, are we still doing this? But then that moved along, which was great. And the ending, the epilogue, what? I need to know what that was about. I'm not going to say any spoilers, but how do I say this? I need Marissa Meyer to tell me what happened. I need to know what's happened because mind blown. So there's that. Those are my very quick thoughts on Supernova. It's a great trilogy, the Renegades trilogy. So if you like superpowers and good versus evil, but also the questioning of society, then try Renegades by Marissa Meyer and then read the next two and it'll be great. As for my plans for the rest of the night, I'm going to put my audiobook on while I cook a late dinner. It is now nearly 8:30. Wednesdays are pretty hectic for me because I go to work and then if we have the early game at touch footy, then I have to basically go straight there and I don't get home until later. But it's worth it. I love my Wednesdays. So yeah, I'm about to cook dinner and then listen to some audiobook while I do that, and then maybe read some of The Crow Girl later on. And then when I go to bed, I'm going to pick up that easy contemporary before I go to sleep. So that will probably be my check-in for day 4. Are we on day 4? Is it 4 or 5? I'll know when I start editing this portion of the vlog. Hey everyone, day 7 of Tome Topple. First of all, sorry if this is a little bit echoey, but I need to go to work soon, so we're getting ready together. I thought I would use this time to give you a quick update on my reading. So basically I am about 180 odd pages into The Crow Girl, and I'm scared that I'm going to put myself into a reading slump because this book is terrifying. I can't read it before bed because I already have trouble sleeping. Like I have nightmares fairly frequently and I'm worried that if I read this before work then that will get even worse. And I sort of need to get all the sleep that I can get. So I feel like because of the genre of the book, I am limited in what times that I can read it. Now you're probably wondering why don't I just DNF it? And that's because it's the only book that I still have from that first TBR video that I put up, and I really want to keep at least one of the books on that list the same. And I mean, it's been on my shelves for ages and I do just want to get through it because my friend said it was really good, it was just really twisted and dark. So I'm just hoping that I don't put myself into a reading slump. I still have The Toll by Neil Schusterman to read after this, which I think I will get through. I feel like because I did finish Supernova in 3 days that I can get through something else, hopefully. Also, the little clips that I inserted were of us at our house appointment because, drum roll, we are building a house. So we are in the process of all of that stuff. I feel nearly like an adult. I think I'm at like 70% adult level. So that's something. And yeah, sorry for the lack of vlogging over the last couple of days. I go back into my working week and I get very busy. So basically, this little check-in recap, I am 180-ish pages into The Crow Girl. I hope to smash out another few hundred pages within the next couple of days, maybe. We'll see how that goes. And fingers crossed, I don't go into reading slump, but it's not looking all rainbows and butterflies at this stage. So I guess we shall see how that goes. It's raining ash. Oh, I don't like that. Oh, you can sort of see it on my car. The realities of living in Australia in bushfire season. Okay, I'm gonna go to work now. Okay, bye. Morning. It is day 8 or 9 of Tome Topple. I can't even remember at this point in time. It's a Sunday morning, and Sunday mornings are for sleeping in. I also have been reading some of The Crow Girl while I've been trying to wake up, and boy, what a way to wake up. I'm now that far in. I still have a lot of this book to go, and it's sort of draining me a little bit, but I want to get it finished because I don't really like to DNF books, and it's good. It's just I'm not used to like the horror and the gore of it. So that's that. I think I'm up to page like 350 something. 351. So I'm not even halfway. And the days are starting to fly past in this readathon. I feel like I started out really, really strong, and now I'm sort of slowing down. But anyway, today's plans. I have today off, which is very unusual, but I have a wedding to go to, so that's going to be amazing and awesome, and I can't wait to see one of my favorite people ever tie the knot. It's going to be amazing. I have to transform this before then though, which takes time and effort, and I'm tired, but we will get there. I need to paint my nails, I need to finally decide what I'm wearing, and I need to pack a bag, and yeah, that's pretty much today before the wedding. Hopefully I can get some shots while I'm there. I should probably get up and start my day. Ah dear. Maybe in a minute. Here we are on day 11 of the Tome Topple Readathon. As for how I'm currently going, I'm still reading The Crow Girl. And man, it's been a ride. I am currently up to page 479. I am this far to go. I've got just under 300 pages left of this psychotic nightmare, and I can say that I have started to enjoy it a little bit now that all the lines are starting to cross and the story is definitely really well put together. It's a really good book, actually. It's just I'm not into the horror genre, and this is psychotic. By this stage also, you will have noticed that I have not been vlogging every day, and that is because life is busy and hard. So I'll just give you a brief rundown of how the last couple of days went. On Sunday, I got to watch one of my all-time best friends get married, and it was beautiful, and you would have seen some of the location just before this part of the clip. Monday was me recovering from that, and also putting together a checklist that I had to complete by today because we are going to Fiji tomorrow. We're going to go to Fiji. It's going to be great. I'm going to take books with me. We'll be gone for about a week, and I'm really excited because I've never been to Fiji before. I've heard it's wonderful and great, and we're just going to relax. You can see how tired I am with the bags under my eyes, so I really need it, but at the same time, I'm going to miss Evie so much. So this vlog will be posted late because I'll have to edit it and we get back from holidays way after the readathon finishes. But the point is that it will still go up. Fingers crossed. So I thought I'd show you what I'm taking to Fiji with me. I am taking, of course, The Crow Girl because I want to get this finished in this readathon. I have a 4-hour plane trip up my sleeve, which I think I will finish that on. But then that means I have to lug this around. But that's fine. So 1. The Crow Girl. 2. Leaving Time by Jodi Picoult, because this is one of my friend's favourite Jodi Picoult novels, and I don't even know what it's about, but she says it is amazing, so I have borrowed that from her. Funny enough, she's also the one that gave me The Crow Girl. These are quite different books, and I'm looking forward to that. And then the third book that I'm going to take on holidays is this bad boy. It is The Toll by Neil Shusterman. Now, I jumped on my Instagram this morning. I've been taking a little bit of a hiatus just because this end of the year is quite busy and I can't really keep up with daily posting. But I jumped on there this morning and someone that I followed said that she read this and it wasn't all that she expected it to be. So I'm a little bit apprehensive, but I'm also really keen to see where it goes and what happens. The first 2 books were great. They were really, really good, and Neil Shusterman is so good with his ideas and concepts that he comes up with. The only thing that can happen in some of his books, I've noticed, is the execution lacks, but the ideas and concepts pull the book together and pull it through. So this is going to be the third book that I'm taking. So the next part you'll see is Fiji. I have a slight confession to make, and that is to ignore the day 14 little banner that you just saw, because this is actually a very long time after Tome Topple has finished. But I still wanted to give you guys my thoughts on how I thought the readathon went, what I ended up reading and finishing and loving and not loving. So we're going to really quickly wrap up this whole experience. Just before we get to all of that, you may have seen in my November wrap up that we did end up getting engaged in Fiji. So there's that. If you haven't seen my wrap up, now you know. And now let's just get straight on to the books that I read for this readathon. And also what I rated them, and also if I completed all the challenges. So, the first book that I completed in the readathon was actually Supernova by Marissa Meyer, and I completed this one super quick. I think I finished this within like day 2 or 3 of the readathon. And yeah, very easy to read because that's her writing style, and I loved it. And it was the end of a trilogy. So this is the third book. I think I ended up giving this one like a 4-star or something. There are a few little back and forth moments where, you know, I was a bit like, are we still doing this? But at the same time, there was also a little bit of an epilogue-y cliffhanger / potential for the story to spin off in another direction. Maybe, please, hopefully. And yeah, I enjoyed that aspect. So this one was super easy to get through and read, and I really did enjoy it. And then I went on to read the book that nearly slumped me. I don't have the physical copy on my shelves anymore because I have finally returned it to my friend. I only had it on loan for, like 9 months. But it was The Crow Girl by Eric Axel Sund, which is a writer duo who just created a landscape of terror. Probably doesn't help that I don't usually read this type of book either. I ended up enjoying how the story was constructed, and it was intriguing. I didn't really like the ending because it sort of makes you question some things about the book, and I don't know if I really liked that. But for the majority, not a bad book. Was terrifying because it's about like a serial killer abducting people and killing them in bad ways, and also there's like this whole pedophile ring thing that's happening, and there's a lot of bad people in this book, and it was heavy and I had nightmares, but I could still appreciate some aspects of it. So this got 3.5 stars, I think. You can watch my November wrap up, I go into the thoughts more. And then right towards the end of Tome Topple and about halfway through my holiday, I picked up The Toll by Neil Shusterman. I didn't finish this in the readathon because this book is thick and it's like over 600 pages long, but like with Supernova, I was super hyped to read this because it is the conclusion of a trilogy and it was pretty good. I feel like I flew through it very, very fast, and I can remember the things that happened, but also it's a little bit hazy, but I just remember the overall tone of enjoyment from reading this one. So this one might have got 4.5 stars from me. Yeah, that sounds about right. Alongside reading the books for Tome Topple, I also finished 3 other books that didn't count for the readathon. So my normal reading sort of continued alongside of the Tome Topple reading, which I was quite surprised that I actually fit in the amount of books that I did. November was actually a really good reading month for me. I think I ended up reading something like 9 books, maybe. So here are the 3 books that I read in the readathon that didn't count for the readathon. First up, I finished Back After the Break by Usher Ginsburg. This is an autobiography of an Australian TV presenter slash radio host slash a little bit of everything, and it was interesting to read his struggles and his triumphs in his life so far. And then you would have seen alongside The Crow Girl, I was reading From Twinkle with Love by Sandhya Menon. This was basically to keep my sanity intact while I read the psychological nightmare that was The Crow Girl, and it was okay. I think I needed it at the time, but I will probably be unhauling this book. And then the third and final book that I read was Leaving Time by Jodi Picoult, and this one, pretty good. Also, I haven't read a Jodi Picoult novel in a few years now, I think. Not including getting halfway through Small Great Things, the audiobook, which I have to get back to at some point. But I digress. So yeah, turns out I can also procrastinate in a readathon, which is specifically just for tomes, as you can see with me finishing 2 books for the readathon and 3 books that weren't part of the readathon. The other thing I really briefly wanted to touch upon was the challenges and if I met them. So, challenge number 1 was to complete more than 1 tome, which I succeeded in. I finished Supernova and I also finished The Crow Girl, so very pleased with that. I'd sort of set my expectations low and said that I'd only probably finish the 1 novel. If I finished more, I'd be happy, and I am happy that I finished more than 1. Challenge number 2 was the tome that's been on your TBR for the longest, and that was The Crow Girl, and yes, I did complete that. It was a bit struggles there for a time or 2, but it got completed, and I'm happy that I finished it and that it is now back with my friend in her house and not on my shelves anymore. Challenge number 3 was a tome that is part of a series, and I completed this challenge by reading Supernova. I also, like I said, got halfway through The Toll before the readathon was up. So I feel like I have definitely checked off that challenge. Challenge number 4 was read a tome in a genre that you don't usually gravitate towards or pick up. I did that with The Crow Girl, so again, big tick. And challenge number 5 was to read an adult novel, which I did again with The Crow Girl. Basically, me finishing The Crow Girl was great in the reason that it just ticked off like the majority of these challenges. So yay for The Crow Girl. And yeah, that's my wrap-uppy thoughts on how this readathon went down. Overall, I'm very happy that I participated in this readathon because it did allow me to get some big books off of my TBR and read, and in the instance of The Crow Girl, back to my friend. So very happy about that. I feel like the Tome Topple Readathon is a very beneficial readathon for someone like me who sometimes might need a little bit of prompting to read some of the books on my shelves. Would I participate again? Yes. Yes, I would, because it was fun. As for why this video is being uploaded and edited and all of that like a very long time after the readathon has finished, that's because my life is busy, and that's the only excuse I really have for you. Also, editing itself is a monster job, and I tend to lose momentum halfway through projects. So I'm just very glad that I am finishing this and wrapping it up. So that's it for this readathon vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. I would like to do more of these in the future. I would also like to know what books you picked up in the Tome Topple Readathon if you participated, and if you didn't participate, what books would you have picked up? Anyway, that's all I've got for you for this video. Like I said, keep an eye out for future vlogs because hopefully that will be a thing. I have a few arcs in my hands, not right now, they're on my shelves. I have a few arcs which I'm very interested to do reading vlogs on, so hopefully that becomes a thing. I hope you have a wonderful day out there and I will see you next time. Bye!